Hi all, welcome back to Budget Flow. My name is VK. Sorry, a bit of a different background right now, but it doesn't matter. In the previous video, I've added the model, which is actually a more advanced, which we've called an ultimate stock investment portfolio tracker. This time around, we'll do the same thing, but for the crypto. Again, we'll pull the live prices from cryptoprices.cc. This is to have a full transparency. If you have any issues with I mean, so far they've been quite reliable because they act as intermediate between the coin Gecko API to track 5,000 major cryptocurrencies by market cap. Cryptos are hot again, given the latest news of the Bitcoin going to 100K. Now, again, this is not a clickbait. For the full transparency, there is given that this is an ultimate model, and eventually over the couple of next weeks, I will teach you how to create one from scratch. But for now, I'm sorry, for full transparency, it took quite a bit of a while to build it. It has a cost. It's the 10 bucks. I think it's fair. So unless you really don't want to have a look at this, wait. I ask you to wait for the tutorials, how to build them. If you want to watch this again, just to understand how it works, absolutely fine. You can do this. If not, if it's something that you feel like you can get, absolutely, thank you. Support is always welcome, and as always, there are free versions, free models that are available. So without further ado, again, for the giving you full transparency, what's the plan? So again, 10 bucks. Tutorials coming next few weeks. You have the essential model, which is free. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, here we are. Very quick tutorial so it's how easy it actually is to use the model and why this model could actually be valuable to you if you want to learn or to purchase this. Okay, so quickly set up. All you need is actually to add your crypto portfolio, which means all you need is to add the tickers of your crypto coins, cryptocurrencies. So for example, if I have HBAR in my portfolio, all I need to do is actually type HBAR. There will be an automated formula, which I will explain, as I said, in the following tutorials in the upcoming weeks that I'm building. It has but the key essence is this is linked to the cryptoprices.cc, and once again you can actually following the intro. Once you do the crypto ticker, all you need to do is, for example, type Hedera, and then you can categorize it to whatever the category is if you wish to. So essentially that's how easy it is. And once again, you can have a look. I'm just going to go quickly to my trading view, for example. Let's see if there is any other particular coin that we want to add. For some reason the connection is not great, but what do we have here? We have Bitcoin, Polygon, XRP, Sol, ADA, Cardano, Chainlink. I think those are kind of the major ones, which is okay, which is fine. But as I said, it's very easy. All you need to do right now is actually to add this particular. If I'll do again, sorry, if I'll do XRP again, or if I'll go, or if I do ADA. So as you can see, it's very simple. All you need to do is to add the ticker, and then there will be a live price pulled automatically for you. Essentially, this is the critical part. Then the happy recommendation is actually to put the name of the cryptocurrencies, and actually because this will later help with the transaction ledger. So this is the only setup that you need and can be done less than a minute depending on the cryptocurrencies that you have. And as I said, for any questions, you can ask me, and then I will help you out, try to help you out. If you think that there is anything more personalized that you need, I'm more than happy to build it for you. But nevertheless, there is a couple of extras to the model which are not necessarily essentials, but very nice to have, and those are related to the account register and the balance finders, very much identical to the stock ultimate stock investment portfolio tracker. The operation is the same. So once you add the date, you'll add the exchange that you can set up. You know, you've set up the exchange here. So for example, if you want any kind of a wallet that you want to add, whether it's external wallet or if you're still doing again, if you're centralized exchanges or decentralized, whatever it's not a problem. So you can add the name of the wallet here, and once you go to the account register, for example, the wallet will appear here, as you can see. So we can change, we can select this, and then you can put deposit, for example. Um, we can just double click on this, press enter, select today's date. For example, I want to deposit $1,000 with $10 of fees. So essentially, I know that my net value deposit is $990 because the fees, depending where you are, depending the platform that you have, will be as such. And once you actually go and you can go in the point of balance fund, there is actually, it will later track on the current balance, which is available on that account, total deposit and total withdrawals from that. But once again, this is a nice to have that you'll have to maintain as well if you want to have more detailed analytics towards this. And then if you want to go to the wallet as a platform or exchange, you can see that this is what your transactions, it filters down the transactions on the basis of the platform that you use. And once again, there you go. That's something that just to highlight to you what you can do. There is also a transaction ledger, which again, it's very simple on this, but this is the brain of the model. This is where I will tell my model that on this particular date, for example, if 9th May 2025, if I want to type this, I want to add a once again, I want to select that I will buy on my wallet, which I've defined right now. I will buy, for example, H bar. Once again, this is pretty much the drop down, which is automatically added. So for example, here H bar, and then the quantity of the H bar, let's put 1,000 of the H bar, the coin price at 0.13, and then I've paid how many of the fees? Maybe 10 fees that for my transaction in terms of the quantities that I've essentially the transaction that has been made in total, obviously given that there is the cost of the coin is only 13 pence, is only $140. And that's how easy if I've made a purchase of 10,000 H bars at 0.13, which means it's already obviously increasing. So as simple as that. And the reason is that this is the brain, and everything calculates and filters and sums and sorts on the basis of all these columns, on the columns of the date, platform, transaction, ticker, name, category, and then obviously the transaction cost. You can have the quantities are very important. The coin price is very important as well, and this especially if you want to dollar cost average your portfolio and buy, for example, where there are certain dips on the market, which in cryptocurrency is like a roller coaster. So the key part, once you enter this, the brain will then be communicated into this part, which I'm gonna maybe center this a bit for you as well. Because once this is done, you can see that these are our transactions of the H bar. So you can see we've purchased 10,000 right at 13 pence, and this is how much it costs us, given that there is an extra fee, $10 that we paid in fees, but nevertheless, the current price of H bar is 19 pence, which means we are making some good profit here. And this is kind of everything is reflected here. So for example, here our portfolio value is actually given that it gets the live price and will update automatically. The portfolio value will be dynamic and will change according to the price of the but nevertheless, I think it's quite cool to see that there is, because I haven't sold anything, there is unrealized P&L in terms of the how many dollars we have so far, what's the percentage increase. You can see how cool is that. And when well, actually, the best part is that if you're able to track to have a dollar cost average, and then if you want to understand if you even at the point of the sale, if that sale is made any realized P&L or realized kind of a profit, or I actually made a loss here. So there is, as you can see, there was a transaction there that has made a loss. So because we've sold for the price that was our average price was higher than So it was lower than actually the last price, which has been pulled for the Solana. So we knew the past couple of months for cryptocurrencies were insane. So I think right now it's well, sorry, probably not a couple of for the long-term investors and people who invest. Yeah, it's definitely it's always has been. Sorry, I apologize for this. It's always has been a crazy one. But nevertheless, the key part is then once you enter this, what you want to see is that you want to see this level of growth, understanding your portfolio, how much you've made, how much you've made so far, what is the best, kind of what are your best performing cryptocurrencies. Um, so it's really, really the point where you want to have a bit of a more beautiful visualizations, etc. So it's good. I think there is a number of different formatting, conditional formatting to highlight whether you made money, where you lost money. Um, so you're doing. I think it really, really, really makes a big. I think it makes a big sense. And finally, what I want is actually to have a bit of a ROI exit strategy, but this is purely on in the sense that we know that these are our cryptocurrencies within our portfolio, and we want to define what exactly will be happening. So, for example, I'm going to Control C, Control V here, and then ultimately, what will happen is that I need to have make sure that my decision whether I need to sell or to hold will depend on it. So, for example, my Ethereum right now is ROI 26%, nearly 26%. And when I say that if my investment will be an ROI exit strategy, means that if my any of my cryptocurrencies would fall within this range of ROI, which means between 20 and 30, I will sell 20% of my portfolio, which means I'm ready to sell. Uh, how many coins do we have? So we have actually 2.5 coins, but 20%, it's only 0.5 as far as so only 5, yeah, so 20%. Actually, no, not 0.5, but it's more like 0.5. Yes. So 0.5 coins that I'm gonna sell because as of now I'm making nearly 26% on my return on my Ethereum. So that's how, and you can actually define what you want, and you can define the percentages. You can define maybe instead of sell 20%, maybe you want to sell only 15%, and that's fine. And this will be the decision will be updated automatically. So the key part is that you define the kind of the percentages, and then you can tell what you want to do with it. And then the exit data will the decision making process will essentially spill out what you need to do at any point in time once the and everything is kind of linked to the dashboard and how it should be. Uh, kind of what your current situation of portfolio should be reflecting this kind of a ROI exit strategy. So, but again, that's not that something that um, you may want to use, but it might not fall within the kind of your strategy, but it's something that you want to understand, or if you want to use, absolutely fine, go for it. So essentially, this is it. I I so as I said, if you get this, that's great. You'll support the channel. You support for me to continue building. If you think like this is something a bit way too complex for you, I'll probably create something intermediate between the essential and this one. Um, I may think about this how to do that, but for now, I think that's probably the best if you want. And by the way, if you just again not to push, but if you'll get it, you'll definitely send me a message. Once you purchase, you can actually send me a message. We can, if you want, we can actually work together on this, and I can help you maybe with the setup, or if it's not clear enough, and I can help you. So you're not alone. That's I promise you on that. Once again, thanks so much. I really appreciate any support of the channel that you may have, or in some sense or form, views, thumbs up, whatever. Um, and I'll see you the next one. Thanks so much, all.